Hello, everyone. Leoben here. Hope you're all having a fine morning. It's very cold here in New York this morning. Very, very cold. Bundled up. Had to get some extra layers on. I actually had my hood on before. It was cold in my space, but I turned the heat up a little bit. It's a little more comfortable. And I just got a nice hot cup of tea, and I'm ready to sit down and learn a new board game that I've been meaning to for a while now. This is called Dragons Down by Scott Demers. It's based on a classic, which I actually have the physical copy of, called Magic Realm. That game was published in 1979, and I have the original. Still in good condition. That game is a beast to learn and play. I sat down and tried it once, and it was fun. It was nothing like I've ever played before as far as a tabletop board game. And this is sort of like a successor to it. So, Dragons Down, this is a new game. I think this was just this year, 2024. Again, Scott Demers created the game. I think it's produced by Mr. B Games. And you can order it, I think, from their web store. I think it was a Kickstarter, but you can order it from their web store. On Board Game Geek, it's got an 8.6 rating. About 2 hours long. I don't know. That could vary. These types of games. The weight of it is 3.64 out of 5, so it's a complex game. And it's considered like a sandbox adventure, RPG. Do your own thing, create your own, make your own way in the game. I've never played this one. I've just read about it, watched a few videos, read the reviews, and what I thought I'd do today is get into Tabletop Simulator on Steam. It has what seems to be a very nice mod, and I'm going to play this solo. I have no clue how to play, so what I'm going to do is read through the rules and set up the introductory scenario. So it says to do the first scenario in here, which is entering Dragons Down. An introduction to Dragons Down for 1 to 2 heroes. So I'm going to do this one, but I started reading the rules, and I stopped when I realized that it's a type of thing where I could start playing and kind of read and learn as I go. So it says that there are different modes to the game. Well, what we're going to do is the scenario. You can play what they call Open Realm Sandbox, which is the basic way to play the game, where you select your tiles or your terrain, they call it. They always recommend to use the Malevolent Mountains or the Cruel Caves. And then you'll set up a map. And I don't think you set up the whole map ahead of time, but we'll find that out. I think there is exploration in the game, so we'll see. Here's the lore for entering Dragons Down. You heard the tales of Dragons Down, where mighty dragons descended to earth, laying waste to all their path. Now the moment of reckoning is at hand. You've embarked on an arduous journey spanning more than a month, leaving the comforts of your home far behind. Whispers of hidden chambers and crypts, even the remnants of a forsaken city that conceal riches beyond your wildest imagination, have spread like wildfire. Little do these rumor mongers realize the enormity of your aspirations. With you, you've carried the essentials, your meager possessions, snugly fitting into the bounds of your backpack, and of course your trusty weapon. For it is certain that the treasures that beckon are guarded by something. With a resolute heart, you take that first step into the mystical world of Dragons Down, where destiny and danger await in equal measure. This scenario is good for 1 to 2 players. It's an introductory scenario that only uses the Malevolent Mountains terrain pack. Okay, we're going to use the Open Realm rules. And we're going to set up the game as described in the lower right of the page, right there. So I guess you do put the tiles out, but I don't think you know what's on the tiles. So as far as exploration, you probably have to still figure out what's there when you get there. We're going to play a maximum of 30 turns. And the solo rules here says retire with 12 or more legend points without dying. If you can get 16 legend points, you truly are a legendary hero. Alright, before I read my strategy tips, let's set up the game board. These are all named. Tri-Peaks, Lonely Mountains, High Pass. Am I going to have to... I have to swivel. I can't read that upside down. Narrow Ridges. Okay, let's find these tiles. They're going to be in here. No, that's the failed exploration. Here are the map tiles. There's nothing in the bag. Let's see, is there a script? I don't think there's a script. I think this is all... Oh, maybe there is. Let's see. Let's do a manual map since we know the tiles we need. Mountains. Okay. The keep. Maybe this is our starting tile. I don't know. I placed it out here. And then there's 5 more in the bag. Let's search for the ones we need. Yep, we need that. We need that. I have a feeling we need most of these. Lonely Mountains. How many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we need them all. And now we have to set them up just like this, with keep in the middle. Try, pass, barriers. Here's try, pass. I think it goes like that. Then Lonely Mountains. Like this. Everything snaps nice and neat. High pass. Narrow ridges, is that what that is? Well, that doesn't look right. Maybe I think it's because what's different here? Narrow ridges has the point. I see. This is just slightly offset. That's the problem. But it's correct. And then last one is barrens. Like that, I think. Something's not right because this is not connecting. Let's see what I did wrong with the keep. The keep's got to come down like that. But since it's offset, that's how it's going to be. Yep, there's no connections to high pass. Connections to narrow ridges should be there. Yeah, so this is the map. We've got that done. Now let's see. Strategy tips. If able, visit the scholar to sell excess treasures and to see if he has any useful wares for sale. You might have to haggle to get a price you can afford. Spend time searching for hidden paths to use later. The mountains are difficult for movement. High pass and barriers are bad choices for a starting map tile. Both force you to search for hidden paths to make the tile easier for movement, unless you brave the caves underneath the barriers to get to the keep. The keep is a safe haven from monsters. It is centrally located for you. This is the keep right in the middle. Since movement is difficult in this scenario, it makes sense to head to the keep and use it to explore the other map tiles. Sneak often. It will save your life at least once in this scenario. The mountains are full of monsters that can be difficult to kill. Alright, so that's the setup of scenario 1. Now let's go into the rules a little bit more. And we're going to start with hero selection. Players now select the hero they wish to play. Each combination of lineage and class cards produce a unique hero. The order of hero selection is determined randomly, but most often can be done simultaneously. Since it's just me, that doesn't matter. Each player places a hero board in front of them. Okay, hero board looks like that. And where is it? Should be down at one of the player spots. Not yet. Alright, I think I still have to sit down, don't I? I'm still searching. Let's change color to one of the proper colors here. What should I do? Blue. And once I'm sitting down at blue, let's do setup. What just happened? Weird. Submit. Let's cancel that. What's in the bag? Lots of pieces. I don't know what they do. Alright, well, I'm just looking for the player board right now. No, maybe there's something in notes. No. Place. Okay. It wasn't set up, it was place. Here's my player board. A lot going on here. A lot of dice. Alright, let me copy this book. And I'll put it right next to my player board here for easy reference. What do I have? Am I not allowed to copy stuff? Permissions. I should have all the permissions. Anyway, it's my game. I see, this is locked, that's why I can't copy it. Let's unlock it, copy it. Anything locked onto the table, you can't copy or do anything with. So that should make things easier now. Alright, we have our hero board. I have to choose a lineage card, which is your nationality, dwarf, elf, halfling, human, and one class card. There are numerous choices of class. These two cards go side by side on either. They go side by side on the hero board, face up. And this creates the hero. So let's find these cards. These are the lineage. Let's just choose one. We play a dwarf. Here's our dwarf. There's got to be a place for this here. It probably is indicated by some sort of icon. Maybe he doesn't go on the board after all. Well, it shows you here where he should go. Oh, he goes right exactly where I put him. Right down here. Actually, he goes here. And now a class. Class is up here. There are tons of them. Oh, those are like spells. Here are the classes. Archer, Barbarian, Cleric, Conjurer, Druid, Enchanter, Illusionist, Knight, Rogue, Sorcerer, Warlock, Warrior. I'm inclined to be a warrior. Well, shrink that a little bit. Now it fits. Alright, Dwarf Warrior. Take the matching hero counter and targeting token. I did that. Health. The hero takes a number of heart tokens equal to the number of hearts shown on the card. Place these hearts in the healthy box on the hero card. Heart tokens must be the red cubes, or are they special tokens? No, they're special tokens. How many do I need? The dwarf gets 1, the warrior gets 2, so I need 3 hearts. Place these hearts in the healthy box on the hero's board. What's the healthy box? Is it this? It looks like this. It's got 2 hearts there. Yeah, the healthy box. As a dwarf warrior, I get 3 hearts here. Action cubes. Each player takes a number of action cubes that match the color of the cube shown on their lineage and class cards and places them in their healthy box on their hero board. If a cube shows 2 or more colors, the player has the option of taking any matching cube color shown. Example, if the cube is black and purple, the player may take either a black cube or a purple cube. Alright, let's see. This shows what colors are these? It's hard to tell. Dwarves are very comfortable in caves. If a dwarf begins their turn in a cave clearing or enters a cave clearing during their turn, they do not lose an action that turn. Warriors have great hand-eye coordination. During the adjust equipment step of combat, warriors may also unequip 1 weapon card and equip another weapon card. I'm going to guess that these are 4 browns and 3 reds. There is a sort of a script here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Each player takes the equipment listed on their face-up class card from the item cards and places them in the appropriate matching locations on their hero board. I was just reading that. I read here I have a breastplate, iron helm, shield, and a short sword. Breastplate, iron helm, shield, short sword. I really should take everything and just put it below the board here, or someplace where I don't have to keep on turning the camera. Should I do that now? I'm afraid to, because everything snaps nice. Everything snaps perfectly. And I don't want to mess that up, so I'll just leave it there for now. Here are the items. Nope, I keep going here, but they're spells. Where are the items? Items. So I have to search it. Iron helm. That was one of them, right? Breastplate. You can always type in search. Yeah, see? Easy to find stuff that way. What was something else I needed? Short sword. Short bow, short sword. There was one other thing. Shield. Okay, those are my 4 items. So this is a learning game for me and for you as well. I mean, it's going to be a slow process and not particularly exciting, at least not till we get into the gameplay. But I'm doing this is really an idea for me because I've been looking at this game. I really want it in my collection, but I'm really limited on space and funds, so really being careful on what I buy. There's been Kickstarters that passed recently that I had to pass up, that some of them I regret not backing. Some of them I think I might have done the right thing, but I'm doing more and more research on these things before I buy, and this is part of my research for this game. Let's see how I like it after going through this playthrough. That looks like a head. That's the iron helm, breastplate, short sword, shield. Must either shield goes in a hand spot or yeah, it's probably going to go in a hand spot, I'm thinking. Let's see what it shows on the... Okay, there's an elf warrior here. Okay, it does go in the other weapon spot. It goes right there. There's the example that they show. Each player takes their starting gold and places it in their backpack. For the dwarf, starting gold is 2 gold pieces on each. And it goes in my backpack. That's here. Gold, well, for the purposes of the mod, it will go in here. So is this click up? So I have 4 gold. Each. Oh, if the hero has starting spells listed on the class card, the player selects any spells they wish. I don't think I do. Not a warrior shouldn't have spells. Once all heroes have their starting equipment, shuffle the remaining item cards and place them in a single face-down pile. You're now ready to play. Dragons down. Let's just shuffle the item cards. I did look through them a little bit. Okay. I tell you what I can do. I can pick this up and move it like that. Can I? I'll lock them down here. That'll be a little less moving around the board once I start playing on the map. Alright, ready to start. This is just a list of all the components, dice, cards, and cardboard pieces. Civilization locations. We already have seen the hero and item cards, the player mat, spells, the action cubes. Red is might, brown is speed, and then the rest are magic cubes. Pink is a status cube. I'm wondering if I needed to take pink cubes instead of red. No, those look like red. Alright, gameplay. Each turn, the game is broken into an action phase and a battle phase. Turn start, all heroes clear their statuses and become unblocked. I'll be the active hero. Active hero performs all actions. Repeat until all heroes have taken a turn. After that, the battle phase commences, where monsters activate. They can move or be summoned. Move and be summoned, and then combat, where players cast spells or participate in combat. Alright, so I'm going to take my actions, but let's first see what kind of actions I can do. Since the game is just starting, I don't think I'm required to do the turn start. At the turn start, it says that you clear all your statuses and become unblocked. But because the game just began, I'm not sure if any of that applies. And then actions. Mix all heroes' targeting tokens together and randomly draw one to determine a start player for the turn. Okay, I'm going to be the start player. Players may perform up to 4 actions during their turn. Actions can be taken in any order, and the same action may be taken any number of times. Now, this doesn't apply to me because of the dwarf special rule, but if a hero begins their turn in a cave clearing, or enters a cave clearing during their turn, the hero loses 1 total action that turn. But not dwarves, because they're comfortable in caves. There's another thing about monsters blocking. Monsters block the active, unhidden hero if they are in the same clearing at the end of the action. The hero may attempt to hide to avoid being blocked. Blocked heroes are unhidden and lose all remaining actions and reactions until the end of the turn. Flip the hero counter over to its blocked side to denote that it is being blocked. So here are the actions. Alert. Alert action allows a hero to unequip and equip all their possessions. Additionally, during combat, this turn the hero may use +1 speed cube during each round of combat. Place a pink status cube in the alert box on the hero player's board to indicate that the hero alerted this turn. There is sneak or make noise. Now, I did read in the tips that I'm going to need to use sneak. The game is not completely combat based where I'm going to have to fight monsters all the time. If I see a monster, I fight it. Like a lot of action adventure board games, that's how it is, right? You see a monster, you kill it. In this, it's more, think MMORPGs back 15, 20 years ago, where if you wander into a camp where the monsters are 5 levels ahead of you, you want to avoid them. You want to sneak around them or, somehow get past that content without having to kill them. This is the idea. You sneak. So the sneak action improves the odds of a hero successfully hiding. You again place a pink status cube in the sneak box on your hero board. Heroes that sneak may ignore 1 failure die result, but not 2 failures, during all hide reactions this turn. A hero may instead choose to make noise. They immediately become unhidden and are blocked by monsters if present. I'm not sure the tactics behind that, but I'm sure it'll come up. Then move. I'll be doing much of this. The move action allows a hero to move to an adjacent clearing connected to the current clearing by a path or a gate. So I remember this from Magic Realm. The tiles actually look very similar to the Magic Realm game. These are called clearings. The tile is the hex. The clearings are the circles with numbers in them. They have to be connected by a path. And you can go from one tile to the next by using a path. Mountains or swamps require +1 action. Gates. Once more than one gate is revealed, a hero may travel between 2 gates as if they were connected by a path. Evading. A hero that evaded during combat on a prior turn and are not in a clearing must spend their first action moving to an adjacent clearing. When a hero enters a map tile that does not contain a treasure site, civilization, or wilderness tokens, place tokens in the tile. Civilization tiles. Draw 2 random civilization tokens from the civ token pile and reveal them next to the civilization location on the map. Fill any newly revealed merchants with the number of treasures, items, and missions indicated on the terrain setup card for that merchant. These cards are taken from the piles shuffled during game setup. The order of these cards do not matter. Wilderness tiles. I'm curious, what does it tell you what type of tiles these are? Keep. Well, it just gives you the title of the tile. Perhaps icons tell you what they are. There are no icons here. Okay, that's something that might be revealed as we go along. Draw 1 random wilderness token from the matching terrain setup card and reveal it anywhere on the tile. Then follow the instructions. Site, numbered token, item, treasure, discovery, forgotten city, forgotten ruins, or dwarven ruins. I'll wind up reading these in more detail as I get to them in the game, because I didn't want to read the rulebook word for word. I wanted to kind of get into gameplay, and when things come up, I could reference the rulebook. When a hero searches, they may select one of 2 options. They may search for a hidden path that is connected to a clearing, or they may search for a treasure at the site. You roll 2 search dice. If the result shows 2 spyglasses, you have found treasure or a path. If you search consecutive turns, you can get a reroll. So if the hero chooses to search for the same target using consecutive search actions on the same turn, they only reroll search dice, showing a blank. When a hidden path is discovered, you can use the path during a move action for the rest of the game. When a treasure is discovered, 2 things occur. Number 1, you get legend points. Now remember, the win condition for this scenario is 12 legend points. And you get fame for being the first to discover the site as shown on the player reference cards. Draw a number of treasures and deep treasures from the appropriate piles as listed on the matching treasure site. Loot. So search just reveals the treasures. Let's see what loot does. Once a player has found the treasure, they may loot it. A hero may not loot a treasure site that they have not discovered, even if it has been discovered by other players. You roll 2 dice, and we're looking for the grabby hand. That yellow grabby hand is here. If you roll the 2 grabby hands, you can look at the top 3 treasure cards and keep one of them. Otherwise, the highest numeric die result for the loot. Otherwise, use the highest numeric die result for the loot result roll. Take the card from the treasure pile that is in the position of the loot roll. I see. So if you get the 2 grabby hands, you choose one of the 3 cards. Otherwise, you take the card corresponding to the number of the die. That's kind of cool. Getting through the actions here, we could learn I'm not going to read this because my dwarf does not have magic. Learn has to do with learning magic spells. Rest. A hero may become wounded for a variety of reasons. In order to move cubes from the wounded box to the healthy box, the hero must rest. You could take a quick rest, a short rest, a long rest. And they cost different action cubes. So the short rest, 2 cubes. The quick rest, 2 cubes. The short rest, 3 cubes. And the long rest, 4 cubes. It does not tell you what it does. It doesn't tell you the effect. Oh, it does tell you the effect. You move wounded cubes. You move them from wounded to healthy. And I guess it corresponds to the rest. So if you do a quick rest, you move 2 cubes. 2 action cubes you have to use to activate the quick rest, and then you can move 2 wounded cubes into healthy. You could trade. This is another tip we got before the scenario began. There were some tips. A helpful tip said to find a trader, find a merchant to trade goods. I'll read that more in depth when I do it. Yeah, so you could buy, sell. You could take missions from NPCs. You could repair your gear. So now that I'm getting into the rules here and the actions, I can see that this game plays pretty much just like an RPG computer game, just on the game board and with physical pieces in front of you. Which I always thought when I was younger, why play a board game like this when you can just fire up the Elder Scrolls or, one of those really, really cool RPGs? Well, there's something to be said about playing a physical game in front of you. Number 1, with friends, if you're playing a multiplayer game. And number 2, it's like reading a book. It really draws your imagination out. It really instead of seeing things play out in front of you, you're creating a narrative and a story in your mind, and you see things that you create as you play the game, which I always love. That's why I love RPGs, tabletop RPGs, even war games. Tabletop war games is that way as well. Enchant a tile. If a hero has a colored magic cube in their healthy box and spends 3 consecutive actions enchanting a single turn, this happens. The tile which they are located is flipped over to the opposite side. The name of the tile should be placed so that it matches the previous orientation. All counters and tokens are placed in the same clearings in which they existed before. The player removes any magic cube that is on the tile and returns it to the pool. Then the player places a magic cube from the pool, matching the magic cube they possess. Any permanent spells that match the color of the cube in a tile are activated immediately, anytime the hero is in the tile. Additionally, the spell that requires a color that matches the cube in the tile requires 1 less magic cube to cast. I'm not sure of the significance of enchant tile, and I'm not sure I'm gonna, since I don't have magic. Alright, 1 more action, well really 2. Explore, only used with the exploration rules. Okay, you know what? We may not be exploring in this introductory scenario since all of the tiles are face up. I'm going to skip reading this. Yes, this is exactly what I thought. So initially, in the base game that is not a scenario, they call it like the open sandbox game or something. You would start, let's say, with the keep, and with nothing around you, you'd have to explore a path. So if I was in High Pass and I wanted to explore another hex, you would then probably pull another tile or something. I'm not going to read it right now, but we're not going to do exploration in the first scenario. The last action is pass. You can pass. Then there are reactions. Really, the only reaction I see here is hide. There's special actions that can only be taken when certain circumstances are met. So, hide triggers. An unblocked hero may hide and gain the hide status, when any of the following occurs. If a monster blocks a hero during the action phase, at the end of a monster activation, or during the cleanup step of the hero if the hero is ambushed this turn. Okay, after the player takes 4 actions, the player's turn ends and the battle phase begins. That's the monster activation. There are steps, I suppose, here we have to follow for the AI to do their thing. And it's more pages of reading, which I'm not in the mood to do right now. So what I'm going to do is take my 4 turns. It doesn't exactly say where you begin, though, does it? Let's read the scenario book to see if it tells you. Scenario book's here. Ah, yes, it shows you. You start in the keep. And you start with a couple of... What does that say? Scholar... Halfling? Maybe these represent the nationality and class. And this just must be a token representing the character. Where are those? Oh, here they are. These are mobs, though. These are enemies. There must be some for heroes. There it is, warrior counter. Alright, so I start in the keep. I think you always have to be on a clearing. Which is the clearing it showed in the book? 1, 2, I think 3. He starts on 3. Is that right? Yeah. Alright. Now, what are the significance of these clearings? That's the question I had. And I kind of read a little bit about it in Move, because it did go into civilization tiles, wilderness tiles, and so forth. I have a feeling I'm not going to see these because I only have mountain tiles in my playthrough here. It says just to use mountain tiles. And mountains, of course, are going to take +1 action cost to move. So I'm thinking, why don't I search the keep? Can I do that? Read a little further and see what they say about starting a new hero. Oh, this is if you die or retire. No, I mean, they don't tell you much because it is a sandbox. They do tell you how you can gain fame, which is my goal. And where is it? Oh, it was in here. So doing enter dragons down. I need 12 legend points to win. I have 30 turns to do it. And I think I must have read it in the rules that you get legend points just simply by discovering treasure. Now, I'd like to read more about hidden paths. I wonder if you could, if a hidden path is something you could make a path to another tile. Because movement is so difficult through mountains, in order for me to get to high pass, I have to go around. But if I could possibly discover a hidden path right here between the keep and high pass, that would really help me. So let me quick go ahead and see if I could read something about hidden passes. Here it does explain a little bit more about civilization locations and Wilderness locations. Civilization locations represent various places where humanity has repopulated the realm. When a civilization map tile is placed, yes, yeah, I was right. We're not going to see any of these. And the wilderness is the same. You have to place a wilderness tile in order to draw these tokens and get that. So I'm really playing like a basic game here in the mountains. It's really going to be an introductory. It's not going to have all the rules and everything, which is good because this game can be a little intimidating. Like even now, starting my first turn, trying to figure out what to do, I'm not sure what to do. But it says here that spending time searching for hidden paths to use later is a good tip. So why don't I do that? Why don't I search for a hidden path and see what happens? All right, so searching for a hidden path requires a roll of 2 dice. And I'm looking for the what are these called again? Spyglasses. I need 2 spyglasses. So where are the dice? Right here. Search. I didn't get anything. So that was 1 cube. How do I... Where am I? Okay, that required 1 action. How do I pay for that? That's my question here. I know I read it, but I already forgot. Actions, right? You have to mix all the starting tokens together and randomly draw 1. Okay, no, that's just for starting player. We could do up to 4 actions. I don't think I need to spend a token to do that. Doesn't say to spend a token. The tokens are for certain things, not to do your actions, but there should be a way for me to keep track of my actions. I'd like to maybe use dice or something, because I get into it and I forget where I am. You know what's better? Counter. Use that counter as my action counter. Should I count down? Let's count down. So I have 3 actions left. You can do the same action over and over. And I believe if you search on consecutive tries, yeah, if you here chooses to search for the same target using consecutive search actions on the same turn, that can re-roll the search dice that show blanks. Okay, again, I'm searching for a hidden path. I got 1. I found a clue. What does 1 do? If the player rolls 2 search dice, I find treasure or hidden path. Any other result is a failure. So I'm going to try it again. And I re-roll only blanks now. Nope. Why don't I just try one more time? Okay, I discovered a hidden path. I was going to make that a success anyway, just to progress in learning. Because if I failed 3 times in a row, what a waste of time that would have been. Now, we don't get legend points for discovering a path, unfortunately. That's only for treasure, I think. So when a hidden path is discovered, that hero may use the path during a move action as if it was a regular path for the rest of the game. You know, I have a feeling hidden paths are this. I don't think I could make my own hidden paths. What are these? Let's look at the map legend. This is not the legend. This is just for setup. Here we go. I was right. I was right after the fact. Hidden paths are those purpley blue paths. You don't make them up out of thin air. They're actually on the map. And your character doesn't know about them, but you as the player know about them. But that was good to do anyway, just to learn about it. I mean, these are the kind of things I'm going to be doing to learn the game. Playing wrong and making mistakes, but now I know how to search and find hidden paths. Alright, let's just say it's the beginning of the game and I didn't do any of that. Since there's no hidden path to discover, I might as well move. I mean, I could search for treasure here, couldn't I? In the keep? Nothing says you can't do that in the keep. Keep is a tile, just like any other, with... I guess it could have monsters. I wonder what the significance of these green, white, and red circles are. Well, I mean, what is that? Let's look back at the map and see if that says anything. Where was I looking? Did I already turn the page from the map? Yeah. All right, doesn't say on the tile there, but let's read it. Each terrain pack has 1 civilization tile and 5 wilderness tiles, which are used to create a unique map for the game. Except for what we're doing. We're just doing mountains. The components of each terrain pack have a common theme. However, the clearings on the map tiles are not all the same, and will feature other terrain types. Example, the tile shown is from a caves terrain pack, but clearing 1 is a woods. Ah, I see. Green is woods. Well, how do I know that? Where does it say that? Oh, it shows it right here. Clearing types included in the game are plains, which are white. Plains are white. Caves are black, so those are all caves. Mountains are red. So I have a red clearing. And swamps are yellow. Woods are green. We already established that. So plenty of mountain clearings. So now I understand that moving from a mountain clearing to another mountain clearing is going to force me to use an extra action cube. But moving to plains or forest will not. Swamp and mountain take an extra action cube to move. Well, I'm going to search. So search is going to work the same way as searching for the path. I'm going to search for treasure. I got it on my first try. So that was my first action. I have 3 more left. We're beginning over. This is the start of the game. Because normally after I did the 4 searches for the hidden path, I would have to do the monster activation phase. Or what did they call it? They called it the battle phase, monster activation. But we're starting over. So I found treasure. Let's see what happens. Alright. The hero has found treasure. When a treasure site is discovered for the first time, 2 things occur. The hero gains legend points and fame for being the first to discover the site as shown on the player reference cards. Alright, so here's the reference card. I revealed a treasure. I'm not sure which type of treasure yet, though. We'll have to figure it out. Draw a number of treasure and deep treasures from the appropriate piles as listed on the matching treasures site. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this is just like the hidden paths. Maybe I have to be at a treasure site. What is a treasure site? How do I know what a treasure site is? These are either plains, mountains, forest. There's no swamp here, but nothing to indicate something that would be a treasure site. And under search, it just says attempt to find a site or hidden path. Alright, let's keep reading it. Draw a number of treasures and deep treasures from the appropriate piles as listed on the matching treasure site on the terrain setup card. It's the terrain setup card. Alright, looks like in the mountains there are crypts, hoards, and chambers. Those are the sites. Malevolent Mountains. Here's the scholar. It says there are 4 deep treasures and 4 treasures in the hoard site. There are 3 deep treasures and 3 regular treasures in the chamber site. 5 deep treasures and 1 treasure in the crypt site. Okay, I understand what I did wrong. I don't think I could search here because it doesn't have a token. I think what I have to do is move. And let's check ahead, but I think when I move to another clearing, I may have to draw a token and put it there. And I would draw a mountain token since I'm in the mountains. Let's just reread that. Yeah, place tokens. So when a hero enters a map tile that does not contain any treasure site, civilization, or wilderness tokens, place tokens in the tile. Still, it doesn't tell me how you start the game. Do I start the game as if I'm here already and there's nothing there? It doesn't say. But I'm going to assume that that's just where I start and nothing happens and I do have to move. So instead of my search, I'll move. Since it takes an extra action to get to that mountain tile, I'm going to move to this plains tile for 1 action. And because it's a site with no token, I'm going to place a token there. And that's going to tell me what's there. So I'm going to place a numbered token because there's nothing there but the number of the clearing. It says place the token in the clearing indicated by the number on the wilderness token. I think it's saying wilderness just as an example. Well, it doesn't say, let's see, it doesn't say anything about mountain. Civilization tiles, wilderness tiles. So what clearing did I move into? 4? Alright, so where are the 4 tokens? I have to draw a token with 4 on it. What are these dice for? Mountain. Okay. So the wilderness tokens do count towards the mountains. They probably also count towards the caves. So let's do that. Draw 1 random wilderness token from the matching terrain setup card, which is the mountains. That's the terrain setup card, the mountains. And reveal it anywhere in the tile. This is confusing me because what type of token was that? That's a gate. That's signifying mountains, and it's a gate. Oh, and there's the number. It says 4. So did I just move on to a gate? I think I did. Alright, so that gate doesn't really do anything. It just lets me travel between that gate and another gate that I might discover at another time. Place the treasure site in the clearing on the map indicated by the number on the site token. I don't know why it says treasure site, but this is the actual treasure token right here. Treasure. Alright, so I have another move. Let's go again, but this time I don't know if this makes sense, but I'm going to go back to this tile so that I can draw another, this clearing I meant to say. Do I draw another token? That's the question. So that's going to take me 2 actions because it's a mountain clearing. So I am down to 1 action. So let's read once more time here. One more time it says that when you move to an adjacent clearing, when here enters a map tile that does not contain any treasure site, civilization, or wilderness tokens, place tokens in the tile. It says place tokens, plural. Alright, I have to do them for every clearing I have to do for every clearing in here. That's another site. It just says site with no number. Does it say anything about site in here? Here. Draw a random site token from the site token pile. Place the treasure site in the clearing on the map tile indicated by the number. Draw a random site token from the site token pile. I'm going to have to look at to see what those tokens are. Site tokens. Treasure site tokens. Treasure site tokens have a map scroll with the word site on the back. On the front is a symbol showing to which terrain pack the site belongs. When a wilderness token is revealed with a treasure site location on it, a random treasure site token is drawn and placed on the tile. So this is what I drew right there. It's the mountain. And then a special token has to be drawn. Special location token. Oh, I see. The back of it tells you what to draw from. So where did I put that? Did I move? Oh, I put it out here. That's the gate. Site. No, it just tells me to draw from the special token pile, but I haven't found that. Don't know what that is yet. Shouldn't all of these keep tiles, should have they all been put out already since I started there? I don't know. And I'll tell you what, I'm ready to stop here and research this because I don't want to go on and do it wrong. So it's a shame I haven't really even got to play the game. I've been doing this for over an hour. But I'm going to clear this and I'm going to come back once I know exactly how to work out the movement and how to put the tokens down on a tile. I'm going to do another video when I know for sure. But, you know, small steps is how I learn these big games. This is a big complex game with a lot of rules, and it's an open-ended game. So I really do like procedural games where you follow a list of procedures to play the game. This is not like that. This is going to give you rules, and there are some procedures, obviously, like when you move into a tile, you have to take the tokens, put them down, but it's not clear in the book on how to do that. It's not so clear in the book on what tokens are what either. But yeah, this has been Dragons Down. It's a game that I've been interested in, that I want to learn, so I'm going to continue with it another time. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sticking around through all the boring rules reading. But if you suffer through it with me, when I start to play the game, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll pay off. So I'll see you next time. Have a great day today, and keep enjoying your gaming. See you next time.